at the beginning of the day, before everyone went to the rally, everyone was expecting peace. As those events transpired, it was disbelief, shock, somber, sad, horrified by the violence, and it was a very hard, difficult day in the White House. There is no doubt. And that was a unifying feeling in the White House. And let me say that differently. It was I should say, widespread feeling, synonymous feeling, completely a feeling that everyone felt. Just completely condemning the actions of that day, horrified and very somber.
There are critics of the president within his own party and those without who hold him to have responsibility in that day and what happened at the U.S. Capitol. Do you think that the former president, Donald J. Trump, holds responsibility for what happened at the riots?
To them, well, these rioters, if they were so inspired by what the president was saying, they left the speech early because reportedly they showed up at the Capitol before the end of his speech. And then they did the exact opposite of what he said. He said, march peacefully and patriotically. And they did the opposite. And everyone in the administration was horrified by it. This does not represent our movement.
We had an election that was stolen from us, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. I know how you feel.
One of the things I love to do, and I did at every rally, was I went in the crowd with a microphone and just talked to these people. And this was not the people that I met. This was not, when I was walking through the crowd at a rally, the woman who ran up to my pregnant belly, put her hands on my belly and said, "Can I pray for your daughter?" This was not the man I met days before Christmas Eve, who was out because of the First Step Act, who was sent to prison for a nonviolent offense and was out because of President Trump, and thanked me and thanked him for what he did. And this is not the veteran who literally told me he was about to commit suicide, and then President Trump came and was his voice and his hero and fixed the VA. These people, they do not represent our movement. They are the opposite of our movement, which is what I said at the podium and is what President Trump has said and will repeat.
We love you. You're very special.
And there was a unitary focus on peace and making sure that every resource available to the Capitol police officers was available to them. But the sense I got from every conversation I had was sending help immediately as soon as possible. And even President Trump said on Sunday evening, I offered 10,000 National Guard, and they should have taken them. He knew it would be a big event, and he wanted peace. And that morning at my house, I did a family press conference, if you will, and we put my family on speakerphone. My mom was there, my daughter was sleeping, and got my husband and my dad there, and we prayed together, and it was hard, and there were tears. I knew I needed to go to the podium. I knew that's what Christ would want me to do.
So we got to see number 45, former President Trump, at CPAC. The first time with him really back in action since he left office. What were your first impressions? Everything he said strikes at the very heart, I think, as to what made this movement pro-family, pro-worker. Why do you think he has made the decision that he's not going to start his own party? I think he knows that for the betterment of his movement, fixing the Republican Party is the answer. I think when I say fixing, it was fixed in 2015, 2016. There are 75 million incredible people, and they'll decide the way this movement goes forward.